A lot of us are on a journey somewhere. You're on a journey somewhere. You're on a journey to move from one place to another. Even if you don't recognize that you're on a journey from one place to another, all of us are on a journey somewhere. You're moving from point A to point B, or you're moving from point B to point C. You're moving from point C to point D, but we're all on a journey to some place. And sometimes the journey involves us going to something that we need, and sometimes the journey involves us running away from things that we haven't dealt with. Now, some of you think that just because you haven't flown an airplane that you've never been on a plane. In order to get on a plane, sometimes you carry with you what's called baggage. And baggage is big money nowadays. Airlines make millions of dollars off of transferring bags, though they claim to be in the business of transferring. Airlines found a fascinating thing about people. They said people would pay to love things around with them that they think are important. Wow. Airlines have recognized that baggage is important to people. Airlines know that people make detrimental decisions in favor of holding on to what they consider to be precious in their lives, and they will pay to love things around with them. People will pay to have the choice to have 10 wardrobes to choose from when they're only going to be gone for 2 days. Around a lot of baggage that we can hardly carry with us, and sometimes we find out that we let other people dump their bag on us. And then you're not only carrying your bags, but you're carrying other people's bags as well. And you keep accepting all of this merchandise. In the physical, we can see that we lug around heavy, oversized merchandise and items and clothes. Heavy, oversized merchandise, items, and clothing. These things may be important, they may be expensive, but check this, none of it you cannot live without. This physical description is a symbol of what is going on inside of us as people. So goes oversized bags in an airport, so goes oversized bags in our lives that we hold on. We think people have an advantage when we see them with a title. We look at people every day and we look down on ourselves because we think those people must have had it good. I don't have that. I wish I had those parents. I wish I went to that school. I wish I had that job. I wish I had that money that they have. But little do you know, most people do not start off well. They work hard for where they got to get to, and most of the time somebody had to push them into where God wanted them to be. Somebody had to drag them to church for them to even know Jesus in the first place. That's what we don't think of. God chose Saul to be a leader of the people, but Saul was hiding behind baggage. God was calling Saul from mediocrity to extraordinary, and Saul was hiding behind baggage. God was calling Saul from goodness to greatness, but Saul was hiding behind baggage. Saul was chosen by the people as their true leader, but this true leader that we chose was hiding behind baggage. God chose Saul to rise up from regularity to kingship, but Saul was hiding behind baggage. And just like Saul, God is calling some of you to another height. And instead of you accepting what God has taken you, you're making excuses and hiding behind baggage. So here it is. What is the baggage that we're holding on to? Well, some of this baggage is that it's self-esteem, a baggage of low self-esteem. Some of you are holding on to baggage of excuses. Some of you are holding to baggage of other people. Some of you have baggage of relationships, baggage of emotions, depression, and addiction. All of this baggage we claim more than we claim anything else in our lives. If I was to ask most of you, how are you doing today? You would give me your baggage before you tell me the sun is shining. Emotional baggage leads us to excuses as to why we cannot be healed. Emotional baggage we use as excuses why we cannot be better. Anytime you find yourself making excuses rather than giving a solution, then you're claiming emotional baggage. How it is that I can identify what's the emotional baggage in my life. I know I got some things that happened to me. I look at my past and I haven't been where other people have been. My father wasn't there. My mother wasn't there. My school is not the greatest. I don't have the same clothes. I'm not as smart. I'm not as tall. I'm not as short. I'm not as brown skinned or fair skinned. I'm not as fine. I'm not as cute. My hair is not as long. Don't carry emotional baggage about things, okay? There are things that I want to improve in my life. Yes, you're going to ever be on an obstacle of improvement in your life. You should always be thinking about progressing, but I'm not going to become dissatisfied with where I am because I know God is not finished with me yet. And that's the kind of attitude that you got to carry when people come around you trying to dump all their garbage on you and tell you that you're not this and you're not that. Tell them what you are. Depression is a tormenting spirit of darkness that hover over us only when we're making progress. Let me say that again. Depression is a hovering spirit of darkness that only shows up when you're making positive progress. Some of you lie at nighttime and you feel something happening to your body like it's trying to suffocate you. And you don't talk about it to anybody because you think that's too spiritual and it's a ghost or something. It's just depression. It's showing up because it's recognized that there's something about to happen good to you tomorrow. But it has to put fear in you tonight, hoping that you don't want to get up. Depression does not leave just by activities alone. Somebody say you got to speak to it. You got to speak to it and say, you know what, it's not that bad. You think it's that bad, but I know it's not that bad. Because I know I have a God that's looking after me, and you only showing up right now because there's something good about to happen to you. You done messed up right now. You should have came to me tonight because I was on my way to sleep, but you came to bother me. There must be something good just around the corner. Oh, you messed up. Oh, you messed up. Oh, thank you, depression. Because I recognize now that there was something good about to happen to me, because otherwise you wouldn't have shown them addiction. Addictions, Pastor Franklin put it this way. He said addictions are things that we choose to substitute for authentic relationships. So because we don't want to do the work to have authentic relationships, we choose addictions that take our attention away from the things that we really need to work on. The final thing we must do to get rid of this baggage, we must realize what is really important to your survival and listening. Now, the first thing I told you to do, I said, yes, you need to recognize your baggage and it's yours. The second thing is you must recognize what is not vital, right? But then you have to counter the not vital list with a list of things that is vital. Why must you do that? Because you're leaving space now inside of your heart. And if you're not careful to fill it with positive things, then Satan is going to take up that space as well.